Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
People will come. They'll come for reasons they can't even fathom. Not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door, as innocent as children, longing for the past. Sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baseline. Back when they were children, cheered their heroes. It'll be as if they'd dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick that I've brushed them away from their faces. People will come. The one constant through all the years has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers, been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. Baseball to mark the time. This field, this game, it's a part of our past. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come. People will most definitely come.
We're all told at some point in time we can no longer play the children's game. We just don't know when that's going to be. Some of us are told at 18, some of us are told at 40. But we're all told.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have, and the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Braves coming. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is.
I never heard of half of these guys, and the ones I do know are way past their prime.
Most of these guys never had a prime.
This guy here is dead.
Cross him off, then.
The local press seems to think we'd save everyone a lot of time and trouble if we just went out and shot ourselves.
We got uniforms and everything.
You know, you might think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior instead of fooling around with all this stuff.
I like him very much. He no help with curveball.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
But I'll tell you, these fans are great. Listen to them. Hey, way to go, Rick. All of Ohio loves you. Come on, baby. Come on, Ricky. Come on, Ricky.
The game doesn't stink. It's a great game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate.
Please remain standing. We call your attention to our bands here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Play ball!
Brooklyn, 1846.
In our sundown perambulations of late, through the outer parts of Brooklyn, we have observed several parties of youngsters playing base, a certain game of ball. Let us go forth a while and get better air in our lungs. Let us leave our close rooms. The game of ball is glorious.
It is played everywhere. In parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed. The only game in which the defense has the ball. It follows the season, the fond expectancy of springtime and ending with the hard facts of autumn.
Because we've been playing it fundamentally the same way for so long, the way that we can find the benchmarks that cross generations and cross decades is to be able to use these statistics as if they were labels. They aren't numbers. 300 hitter is not a number. The 300 hitter is a tag that means something today, as it did in 1930, as it did in 1890. I can make that comparison with my father, who could have made it with his father, that common language.
It's our game, America's game.
We'd spit tobacco juice on a spike wound, rub dirt in it, and get out there and play.
Baseball's a gentleman's sport. Sportsmanship spoke from the heart of America.
It is a haunted game in which every player is measured against the ghosts of all who have gone before. Most of all, it is about time and timelessness, speed and grace, failure and loss, imperishable hope, and coming home.
Somebody sat down and said, hey, it ought to be 90 feet. If it were 88 feet, the game would be very different. Think of the double plays. If it were 94 feet, batting averages would drop remarkably. 90 feet, that was a pick from heaven.
This is a reminder. Disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Baseball serves the same purpose as a revolution in Central America or a thunderstorm on a hot day. A tonic, an exercise, so long as it remains our national game, America will abide no monarchy, and anarchy will be too slow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flash in the sky was visible within a radius of several hundred miles, and the noise of the impact was heard as far north as Chicago, Illinois. We have dispatched a special mobile unit to the scene, and we'll have our commentator give you a word picture of the scene as soon as he can reach there.
Reports observing several explosions occurring at regular intervals and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity, like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun.
Crosley Service estimated that 32 million people were listening in on radios.
Quietly, and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
the BCR, your home for the classic call, Radio Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another ball game. Yes, sir. Why, we'll send you the play-by-play. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball, no more measles, and free tickets to the circus.
Although edited, tonight's thriller contains suspense and violence which may be unsuitable. Parental discretion is advised.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate?
Braves come.
Welcome in, Braves Country. BCR. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. As soon as the 3D kicks in, we will bring it to you. And I believe we've got it rolling. Give me 1 second. We'll put it on the stage. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Wrigley Field. A 1-1 count from Imanaga to Goldschmidt. Lefty-righty matchup. If we're lined up, it's now a 1-2 pitch on a swing and a miss. I have to see. Sometimes these pitches look alike, and I think I'm on point with it. 0-0 your score, just getting started. The 1-2 pitch, swing, ripped it over to third. And we're on point, and it's a 5-3 putout. Goldschmidt down, 1 away. Your lineup real quick. For the New York Yankees, Goldschmidt, Ben Rice, the designated hitters. Goldschmidt's playing first today. Rosario and Dominguez. They'll followed by Grisham in center field, Volpe at short, Jones in left, Sanchez behind the plate, and Caballero is at second. First pitch on the way, lefty-lefty. Imanaga, the pitcher for the Cubs today, is a bender off the edge. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Turns and kicks. Right down the pipe for a strike. 1-1. 1-1 count. Left to right for the outfield for the Chicago Cubs today. Ian Happ in left. PCA in center. Conforto in right. Is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Like the sinker. It's 1-2. Left to right across around the horn, it's Ramirez at third, then Dansby, Horner, and Bush. Amaya is behind the plate, and of course Imanaga is on the hill. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And there's 2 down. There is the threat of rain for this game. If we go to a rain delay, simply put, we shut her down because it'll end up overlapping into the Braves game tonight. But we're going to try to give it a go. Most of the projections have it, if there is a delay, it's late in the game. They think it's something they may be able to play through, so we'll see how it plays out. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch from Imanaga to Rosario. Up high and out of the zone, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Turns and kicks. Swing, foul, tips it out of his glove. 1-1. 1-1 count. Yeah, we're hoping for the best, Richard, but there's a huge front rolling in. The 1-1 pitch, swing, pop up, back out of play. Really came down to the projections of how much of it's going to hit Wrigley Field and how much is going to skate over it, because it's moving northeast, and they may just get the tail of it, and if so, they may be able to play through it. Right now you got overcast skies, but there aren't any dark clouds in the air, and the wind is blowing out at about 10 miles an hour. Well, it's actually 10 to 15 miles an hour. The pitch on the way, swung on and swatted down the line. It's 1-2. Cubs minus 153 on the money line coming in. The Yankees plus 150. The over-under was 9.5 because of that wind blowing out. The 1-2 in the dirt. Ball 2-2. Will Warren is the pitcher on the mound for the New York Yankees today. Richard Talley, the thing about Dustin May, if they get him, the only good thing is they won't have to give up much because he's not really a sought-after prospect, but it's the 2-2 swing, corkscrews it. Really what you're talking about is a situation where he would come on and I think you'd build it where he's being piggybacked by someone like Grant Holmes. Well, at that point, or you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, or I guess they could, in theory, put Destiny in the bullpen. But you use a guy more than an inning or so, you can only use him about twice a week, just like a starter. That's how the Braves end up playing it out, is the pitches right there, fouled off, and it is 2-2. 2 up, 2 down so far here in the game. Nothing your score. The only game on the docket right now in Major League Baseball is the 2-2 misses high and inside. It is ball 3-2. 4-seam fastball just missing. So if you tell me that they could get him for a song, then I don't have a problem with getting Dustin May, because you'll just see where you can stick him and you'll get as many innings out of him. If he's someone you're just trying to build innings down the stretch for. But I'm looking for someone who's going to help us in the postseason. And the only way a Dustin May helps you in the postseason is if you are going to piggyback him, because about the second time through the lineup, teams really start to tag him. Well, that's the same issue we have with Grant Holmes. He does have more velocity, touch more velocity, but like that sign says that I have that on one of these videos, on one of these intro videos, it says, "I don't care how fast you can throw ball 4." The Braves played Dustin May last. He couldn't get out of the fourth because of command issues. That really was only a few weeks ago, right before the All-Star break. And if you remember, the Braves offense was playing terrible at that point. But he's always been one of my favorites to watch just because of the Sideshow Bob haircut. So we'd have fun with him, Braves country. I won't be totally disappointed, but if he is acquired at the deadline, I hope he's just one of 2 or 3 pitchers acquired. I think the Braves get a starter, and I think they try to add to the bullpen. The payoff pitch, after the long delay, they were dealing with the PitchCom device. Pitch fouled back off. Good to see you, Rebecca. Richard Talley, I know 22 is in here, says he's got to dip out for a second. Henry Top took the Cubs in the under. See how that plays out. The 3-2 pitch. Man, they're fighting him off. 2 quick outs, and it's a good thing because this has been a long at bat. This will be pitch 19 of the inning. Wind is blowing out. Yokeled is in here today. And Phyllis, the 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. And the Chicago Cubs will grab the sticks when we return. 0-0 your score here in Chi-Town.
This sucks. I want to cry so bad, but I already did my makeup. So now I just got to hold it in. Is this what the boys feel like? So they just hold it in and push it down? This sucks. Gotta let it out.
I don't think either party would have fared very well on that one.
No.
Cangelosi flat out to right field to lead off the ball game. And as you can see, having a pretty good go of it early. He said before the game that little men always have to prove themselves. Is that the way in any sport?
That's pretty true. I think one of the great examples of that, and I hate to keep talking about football, would be Joe Morris at the Giants. He's only about 5'7".
He certainly has proven himself the last few years. Outfield straight away. Moreland taking away the bunt to third. And Cangelosi holds up. And he appealed to first base. Strike 2. 1-2. John not very happy with himself. He said something interesting. If he was an infielder and right-handed, he might have had a chance to stick around a little bit longer, perhaps with some ball clubs. Popped it up, and Leon Durham gives it a look, but it's back in the seats. You know, as a left-hander, if you're that small without a whole lot of power, you're so much limited in where you can play, and mostly it's just center field.
You're not going to play in the infield anywhere except at first base, and size is going to dictate you can't do that. So he's resolved the situation, I guess.
And without any power, they really don't like you to play the corners in the outfield. So you have one spot, and if you can't run, you start selling cars.
Yeah, you better be looking for another job.
1-2 count on John Cangelosi. Takes one inside. That evens the count at 2-2. High chopper off the plate. Keith Moreland can't do much with this. A good bare hand pickup, but all you can do is put that in your pocket.
Keith Moreland has made that transition to third base pretty effectively, hasn't he, Steve?
He's done a good job down there, and this is a good pickup. But of course, not much you can do with it. A lot of Cub fans here today.
Welcome back. Will Warren goes to work. The first pitch misses out of the zone. Righty-lefty matchup. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Outside wide. Ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 count. Infield playing back into the right. The 2-0 pitch. Brings it. Swing. Chops it foul down the line. 2-1. Left to right across the outfield for the New York Yankees. It's Jones, Grisham, and Dominguez. Round the horn, third to first. Rosario, Volpe, Caballero, and Goldschmidt. Sanchez behind the plate and Warren on the hill. The 2-1 count. Outside wide. Ball 3, 3-1. You want to know about bats, and I'll give you some ideas of who is rumored to be on the trade market, Richard. And then I'll tell you who the Braves may be interested in. Is the 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. It's a full count. Francisco Lindor, but that's a huge, huge if, because someone's got to be willing to take on that enormous contract. Don't get me wrong, he would be a great addition to the Braves lineup. Are you kidding me? But are the Braves going to spend that much money? Because it's not like he's at the end of his contract. He's right in the middle of it. The 3-2 pitch, swing, bounces it up the middle off the mound. Grabbing it, flipping is Anthony Volpe to Goldie. And it's a 6-3 putout. One away to start the Cubs' first inning. Cubs batting order. After PCA, it's Ramirez who's playing third today, batting second. Michael Busch is batting third, playing first. Bregman, the designated hitter, cleanup. Batting fifth is Ian Happen, left. Horner at second follows. Conforto is in right field, batting seventh. As that first pitch misses off the plate, it's 1-0. Dansby Swanson batting eighth, shortstop. And Amaya's behind the plate. He is batting ninth. The 1-0 pitch is a little touch below the zone, but called for a strike. It's 1-1. The Braves just saw this umpiring crew in New York. They came straight to Chicago as the pitch is swung on and fouled away. So it's Hanahan behind the plate today. Ron Culpa, thankfully we don't get him today. He's at first. He'll be behind it tomorrow. Scott Berry will be manning second, and down the third base line, it's Manny Gonzalez. The pitch on the way, swing, rattled through the infield. That's going to go out to left, and it's a one-out single for the Cubbies. Good worm burner over there by Pedro Ramirez. It's been lifted up to the number 2 slot. I saw a lot of Cubs fans online today. They're excited about that. Righty lefty, first pitch to Michael Busch. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. I'm telling you, the jerseys sell themselves. Why in the world the Cardinals have not gone out and made a trade for Michael Busch, I'll never understand. The 0-1 count, swing, fouls it away. If you're a Cardinals fan and you get a Michael Busch St. Louis Cardinal jersey, you're good for life. Because all you're going to have is Busch on the back of the jersey representing the stadium. You're good. Why do they have 4 umpires instead of 3? Because this isn't 1952, Rebecca. They've had 4 umpires for decades. The 0-2 down and away, 1-2. They have 6 during the postseason. During the postseason, There is one man deep in the left field corner and one in the right field corner. But as it stands, you always have had way back is the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did not go around. They used to just have him at behind the plate at first base, and the guy at second, he would move over if a runner reached second base or reached third. They've had 4 umpires. I'll have to look it up, but it has been forever. The old Brooklyn Stadium, 2-2 pitch swing, chopped on the ground over to first, and it's going to be a 6-3 inning-ending double play. I'll tell that story when we get back. There's a pretty funny story about the 3 umpires. When we return, 0-0 your score here in Wrigley Field. On this date in 1912, Ty Cobb goes 1 for 4 in the Detroit Tigers' 4-1 victory over Washington at Navin Field. The Tiger outfielder singled for his 68th hit in 137 at-bats, a .535 average during July, the most ever collected in a single month by a major leaguer. On this date in 1930, the New York Yankees edged the Boston Red Sox 14-13. Thanks to Lou Gehrig's offensive output. The Iron Horse collects 8 RBI with a grand slam and 2 doubles in the Fenway Park shootout. And on this date in 1954, in Brooklyn's Ebbets Field, using a borrowed bat, Joe Adcock hits 4 home runs in 1 game and a double, which misses by inches of being his 5th round tripper in the Braves' 15-7 victory over the Dodgers. Milwaukee's first baseman, 18 total bases, collected on 7 pitches, sets a major league record, surpassing the old mark established in 1950 by the Brooklyn Dodgers' Gil Hodges. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. Man, I hit the nail on the head. I was guessing, to be honest with you. It was 1952, the end of 1952, when MLB went to 4 umpires. I knew it had been a long time. I knew it had to be in the 50s. In the 1940s and 1930s at Ebbets Field, they had something called the Brooklyn Symphony, but everyone pronounced it Symphony because they played tunes, but they were always in jest, right? So they went with Symphony, though they spelt it the same as Symphony. First pitch down and in from Anaga starts the inning. Ball to Dominguez, it's 1-0. And when they would blow a big call on the field, back when there were only 3 umpires, they used to famously belt out 3 blind mice. The 1-0 pitch right there on the outer edge, it's 1-1. In fact, they would do it so loud when they got kicked out of the game for playing 3 blind mice, they knew it would get them kicked out when they played it. They played it even louder because behind the walls in Ebbets it would echo, and it actually used as an amplifier, and they said you could hear it even louder when they were kicked out. 2-1 count from Anaga. Infield back into the left. Swing and a miss, 2-2. It's one of my favorite baseball stories. Hang iron, I'd say that's got to do with the pitching matchup. The 2-2, down and in, 3-2. I would have said take the over, not worry about who wins, because the winds are blowing out, and if they do get this game in, if they don't, then they'll just scratch the play. But the wind is supposed to get up to 15 to 20 miles an hour. Right now it's angling in at around 13, blowing out to left center. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 1 away. What I would personally do is I would have taken the Cubs in the over. Will Warren is known to get got. Imanaga is a ground ball pitcher. He also gets strikeouts, so it's a little dicey on getting the Yankees to get to him. But if they can work the count and get him out of the game, then we could have a good old-fashioned slow-pitch softball game. Then you never know. You might be on the right side, because once you get into bullpens, it's a funny game. Lefty-lefty matchup. Trent Grisham, the batter, right there on the outer edge. It's 1-0. On that note, Armchair Quarterbacks comes back in August as the swing and a miss. 1-1. Armchair Quarterbacks show comes back on Friday nights here on Braves Country Radio. We'll be live at 6 p.m. Eastern, talking all the lines in the NFL and college football, and some baseball lines as well. Pitch on the way is swung on and popped up, knocked up high in the air, but the wind's not going to be able to knock that one out. It's going to be an F7 in your scorecard, and there's 2 down. Come on the air 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday night starting August 28th. And we'll go for about 30 to 45 minutes leading into the Braves broadcast. Really depends on what time the Braves are playing that night. I think there's one where we're playing at like 6:40, so we're going to have to cut it at 6:30. Lefty-righty matchup. Imanaga goes to work on Anthony Volpe, and the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. That wind is really picking up, and it's blowing out to almost straight center, but we'll call it left center. The wind, the flags are almost standing up. The wind's blowing so hard. So back to what Richard Talley was asking about with the 1-1 from Imanaga. On the bats that are available, pitch on the way, swing, pop up. Back out of play, and we'll do it again. It's 1-2. 2 outs. Top of the second. Rafael Devers is out there. Braves aren't going after a first baseman / third baseman. He needs that much money. Adames, I doubt it. Chapman as well. Trevor Story, he's not being traded. The Red Sox are back in it. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. We'll continue to talk about the Cubs and Yankees and go into who's available on the trade market when we return here on the BCR Wrigley Friday.
How have you been doing?
I don't know, man. I just feel like there have been too many days in a row lately.
After the United States officially broke away from the British Empire in 1776, its merchant ships were no longer under the protection of the British Navy. Over time, the Barbary pirate states of North Africa started exploiting this by capturing American merchant vessels, enslaving their crews, and forcing the United States to pay tribute. In 1785, the U.S. disbanded its continental navy, and thus left its civilians unprotected in the Mediterranean Ocean. In July of 1785, 2 American ships, the schooner Maria and the Dolphin, were captured by Algerian pirates, who forced the survivors into slavery and set their ransom at $60,000. The American people were heavily against these tributes, as they thought the money would be better used to build a navy to defend their merchant vessels from the Barbary pirates. And the American people made their voices heard in the 1801 election, as they voted for Thomas Jefferson over the incumbent John Adams, partly because Jefferson campaigned against the humiliation of paying tribute to the petty tyrant of Algiers.
American men, not all of us, but a great many of us, think back to baseball in connection with our fathers, maybe with our grandfathers, with uncles, with people who played particular games sometimes, but also people with whom we went to particular games, or people we played catch with. There is something historical about baseball. You see that green grass, as I hope and wish and cherish in my conservative way, the grass field shining in front of you, and you are not just back in time, but you are outside of time. We have something that separates itself out from our duration. For one island there, we are 62 years old, we are 12 years old, we are 40 years old, and the game exists in some island outside of time, some eternal present, which is a kind of corridor into eternity.
Welcome back. Cubs at the plate. And the first pitch swung on, popped up in the air. And Bregman's going to be a quick F2 in your scorecard. Little pop up just back behind home plate. Securing the catch with Sanchez, one away. So you got guys that are out there, and I think I'm going to skip over the ones that I just don't think are on the market because the teams are in it. I will mention the ones that are questionable at this point because of the way the standings are. First pitch down the pipe, misses out inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Yet question marks like Gleyber Torres. The 1-0 outside wide. 2-0. Right now his team is 6.5 back. I think they're sellers. They've gotten a little hot, but they're starting to drift off. Really think that's a 3-team race between the Sox, Cleveland, and the Twins. Pitch just grabs the outer edge. Good sweeper there, 2-1. Mets are going to try to dump Luis Robert. I just don't know what the intrigue is there. He's not hitting well. He's been injury prone his whole career. Sinker right there at the knees. Maybe the change. It's 2-2. They've got Christian Walker mentioned, but his team is only a half game out of first. So you really think they're going to sell? Jung-Ho Lee is an interesting bat. As the pitch misses down, full count. So a full count to Ian Happ. 1 on, 1 out. Infield back into the right. Outfield deep and straight away. The payoff pitch. Caught looking strike 3. My word, that ball was right down Main Street. Is that Austin Riley batting left-handed? What's going on here? 2 down. That looked like a good old-fashioned Austin Riley at bat where he swings for the hills and then he gets 2 strikes and he just takes it right down the pipe. Nico Horner, the batter, 5 home runs on the year, batting .257, righty-righty matchup, first pitch. Off the plate, it's 0-1. Other guys that would be of interest, I think Richard's specifically talking about for the Braves, is the 0-1 pitch, swing, smacks it back foul, it's 0-2. So I do think a guy like Jung-Ho Lee would be someone that they would be interested in. And the problem that you would have with Lee is the pitch swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. He's on contract till 2029. That's probably going to cost you a lot. We'll be back in a flash. We go to the top of the third. 0-0 your score here in Wrigley.
Mom Donnie says that when it comes to affordable housing in New York City, artists are going to be prioritized. So if you're a single mother of 3 about to get evicted, now is a good time to start rapping.
You know the Black Sox scandal? Well, meet the man who taught them how to cheat. Hal Chase, the Black Prince of baseball. In 1918, Hal was the legendary first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. But there was a problem. His manager was Christy Mathewson, the man who literally wrote the book on integrity. Many noticed Chase, he wasn't just intentionally missing balls. He was missing tags and tipping off opponents. In August, Mathewson had had enough and suspended Chase indefinitely. The charges? $50 bribes to his own pitchers to throw games. Teammates Jimmy Ring and Greasy Neal even testified that Chase would brag about winning hundreds of dollars on Reds loss. In 1919, a hearing was held. That should have been the end of it, right? But Mathewson was off fighting in World War I. Without his star witness, National League President John Haidler had to dismiss the charges. The league called him foolish, but he insisted there wasn't enough evidence. The whitewashing convinced players that throwing games was low risk, directly leading to the 1919 Black Sox scandal months later.
Let's fast forward a year later. It's Yankee Stadium. Roger Maris at the plate looking for number 60.
2-0 Baltimore, third inning, 2 outs, nobody on. And this is what the people have come to see. There it is. There it is. If it stays fair, and it is, number 60. How about that? There's standing ovation. A standing ovation for Roger Maris, who got number 60. And they're calling him out of the dugout. This is most unusual.
They are asking him to come out of the dugout. Now this is something. They are standing and asking Roger to come out. Come out, Roger. How about that? Come out of there. There he is.
Nothing, your scores. We start the top of the third. Jones, the batter, lefty-lefty matchup. Spencer Jones batting .230 with 3 home runs, 11 RBI, and a .696 OPS. Pitch on the way. Smacks the outer edge. 0-2. Welcome in, Desmond. The 0-2 count. Out and away, well missing the mark. The sweeper in the other batter's box. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Swing, chops it. Might have got a piece of his leg. We'll do it again, 1-2. One-two pitch. Misses high. That'll even it up at 2-2. Four-seam fastball. Minaga is sitting at 37 pitches. The 2-2. Swing. Backs it foul. Up against the screen. Other guys, so they always have Brian Reynolds listed on trade blocks. I've got to see that to believe it. It never happens. Heck, the guy is signed through 2031. I'd jump at the opportunity to get the guy because he doesn't make much, like $4 million a year right now, and it escalates up to $6 million. I mean, that's nothing. Is the pitch right there? Caught looking, strike 3. Backwards K in your scorecard if you're keeping along at home. Lefty-righty matchup now. The batter Sanchez, the backstop for the Yankees today, batting .245 on the year. First pitch bends inside. Ollie Sanchez. 1 home run, 7 RBI. The pitch misses. It's 1-0. Taylor Ward is an interesting one. We know that the Orioles are out of it as the 1-1 misses high. He's not what he used to be, but he is a free agent at the end of the year, so it would just be a cheap rental, and he is a right-handed bat. He's someone you would literally just put in to platoon. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. The guy that I've been clamoring for because of his ability to smoke Christopher Sanchez on the regular is Lane Thomas, and he's a free agent at the end of this year. He's with Kansas City, who's out of the race. The 2-1 misses high. I don't think you would have to do much to bring him in. And Lane Thomas also doubles as not only does he have a good bat, a good glove, but he's also a good base runner. The 3-1 pitch. Caught looking right there, 3-2. He was heading down to first base, had to retract. I mean, that definitely not one you want to challenge. So for my money, I'm taking Lane Thomas because he's got a good glove, good outfielder in general, and he's got good speed to run the base paths, and he owns Christopher Sanchez, who you know you're going to face in the postseason. As Sanchez knocks that one foul. Something extraordinary. He was 7 of 12 going into that game that we did with Philly and Kansas City, and then he had 3 hits off him. So he's like 10 of 15 lifetime versus Christopher Sanchez. 3-2. Pop up. High in the sky. Getting underneath it, making the catch out there. At first base is Michael Busch, and there's 2 down. F3, you're scoring at home. So far, the only base hit of the day has been for the Cubs. We're in the top of the 3rd and just 1 hit so far across the board.
That's all. We got 1 damn hit.
You can't say damn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
First pitch swinging here, and that ball is going to be laced out to short. Dansby's there. He'll make the catch, L6, and we go to break. Bottom of the 3rd we go. 0-0 your score here in good old Wrigley on a Friday.
McDonald's is clinically insane for how early they stop serving breakfast. You really expect me to eat a quarter pounder at 10:30 in the morning.
I try not to hold hate in my heart for anybody, but there is this one guy that if I had the opportunity, I would light him on fire.
Man, I just seen a girl yesterday talking about can we normalize leaving our jobs because it affect our mental health. No! What my kids gonna eat? Mental Toast Crunch? I'm gonna work until I'm bipolar schizophrenic. And then when all the people in my brain start talking, they gonna have to get a job because they can't live in my Who goes to work looking for peace? Peace is at your house.
The one ballpark that stood out in terms of its size and baseball significance was the old Yankee Stadium. Opened in 1923, it was the most dramatic of 3 ballparks within the boundaries of New York City. Just across the river from Yankee Stadium stood the Polo Grounds. Robert Creamer.
I was hundreds of miles from home, and I sat in this sort of empty room, maybe 15 guys scattered around, listening to the radio, and I just felt so far away from baseball. I really felt lonesome. And a big sergeant came in, big top sergeant, and he had a cigar. He was sitting a few feet away from me, and the cigar smoke floated over to where I was, and I thought of the Polo Grounds. It just came back to me with a wave, this marvelous feeling that I was at a ballpark all of a sudden because of that stinking cigar.
Last but not least, we have the CEO of So I Like Baseball. You know, the Mets have the highest salary in baseball, and they lose all the time. The team, the way the Atlanta Braves has been managed for years. For years and years. And he's the CEO of the Atlanta Braves. You know, you don't realize how good he is. When you have one of these guys, there are teams like that, you know, where they never go down. Then you have other teams, we're rebuilding. They've been rebuilding for years, but they're always rebuilding. We're rebuilding. They say you're not allowed to do that. Do it.
Thank you, Mr. President. And as you can see, Braves country is a real thing.
Welcome back. Oh, okay, it is a PPR. Well, then, yeah, I'd go JSN. I was about to say, if it's not PPR, get yourself Jonathan Taylor or something. First pitch upstairs to start the inning is a bender up top, sweeper that didn't sweep. It's 1-0. 1-0. Another sweeper. He's got that thing moving today. 1-1. Although Jonathan Taylor's really tempting to get, because you got to figure out the gate. It's going to be the pitch right there for a strike. 1-2. You got to figure that it's going to be Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, CMC. And you got the 5th pick, so it's. You either go JSN as the 1-2 down and in, ball 2, 2-2. Jamar Chase could fall there. The 2-2 count, swing and a miss, strike 3, blew it right by him up top, and there's one away. But as far as staying healthy and all that kind of stuff, it's probably safer just to take a wide receiver, to be honest with you. The allure is always, let me get the bell cow running back, but man, those guys get hurt. Yeah, Puka was the other one. I was trying to think of who I was forgetting. I'm in a ton, when I say a ton of best ball drafts right now. First pitch is right there for a strike. Dansby Swanson, it's 0-1. You just have to go in and out, Nick. The 0-1 pitch outside wide 1. A 1-1 count. Turns and kicks. Swing and a mix. Okay, good to go. Yeah, it's weird. It does it. I always have a Bluetooth device for me to check to make sure we're not doing anything weird. Let's pitch outside wide. 2-2. 0-0 your score. Quick moving game because nobody's scoring. Pitch on the way. Whistles it right by him. Caught looking. Dansby taking those batting tips from Austin Riley. 2 down. Other bats that are out there that the Braves would be interested, because the big thing is the position. If they add a bat, I really think it would be an outfield right-handed bat. People keep talking about freaking Jorge Soler. I am done with that experiment. Please, no. First pitch swinging, lifted high and deep into right center field, and that ball's got eyes. It's going to get up against the ivy here in Wrigley Field, and it's a 2-out double for the Chicago Cubs. Good piece of hitting there by Amaya as he's got a big smile on his face. Righty-lefty matchup. We go back to the top of the order. PCA to the plate. Pete Crow Armstrong. He takes the first pitch down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Turns and kicks. Check swing. Did he go around? He did. PCA does not like the call, but he can't challenge it because it is the... I guess. So 1-1 count. Other outfield, like honest outfield additions the Braves could make. 1-1 pitch swing, chops it foul. Now this guy I like a lot. The problem is he's a left-handed bat, and that's not really what the Braves need. And he's a free agent at the end of the year. Dalton Varsho. And you can put him in the outfield. He can play center. He can play right. He's even an emergency catcher. He came up as a catcher. But once again, he's a left-handed bat, and it's not really what they're looking for. They have Jaron Duran listed. The Red Sox are not selling now. If they don't think Sean Murphy's coming back and they don't love his PCA's getting looked at by the trainer. The ball got a piece of his foot, and he's pointing at the place where it hit, right on the top of the foot. So we'll have to wait to see what happens here. I think they would probably just roll with Joey Bart if Sean Murphy can't come back, but there are a couple of guys out there that are on the trade market. Tyler Stevenson and Adley Rushman. And once again, I keep circling back to Lane Thomas. He keeps popping up on everything that I see. Lars Nootbaar is a good one you could take a stab at, but I think Joe Adele would be a better fit because he is a right-handed bat. The 1-2 pitch, outside wide, 2-2. So PCA stays in the game. I don't think the Twins are going to be selling per se, so I'm taking them off the... Zach Nato Pitch down and in. He's an interesting one because he has control until 2030, and he's the shortstop the Braves need. And you could always platoon him, and you got the left-handed side of Jim Jarvis. But I think Jarvis would have to be involved in the trade, the 3-2. Caught looking, strike three, punched out at the bottom, and that'll end the inning. PCA thought he was going to get the ball call, but that ball was definitely in the zone. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the fourth we go. 0-0 here in Wrigley with the wind blowing out.
Yo, so recently it's come to my attention that the worst part about living alone and being single is...
Listen, y'all don't tell the pretty one, but I might have a boyfriend at the gas station up from the house. You know about the Chevron on 24, and these some don't close. Well, I asked him before the ice storm come along. I was like, hey, man, y'all gonna be closed? He said, we ain't even got keys. I'm like, all right. He said, them doors ain't getting locked. And they was open, all right? Every time before me and the boys went duck hunting this year, stroll in there at 3:50, 4 o'clock in the morning, get a biscuit, the nicest people ever. You go back in there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, same some still there. Well, I use two different kinds of vapes. I used to smoke Marlboro Reds like they were just growing on trees, and I got off Marlboro Reds by vapes. Well, not a lot of people carry the ones I use. It's some not only remembered both of my vapes, he stocked them and then cut me a twofer deal today. I got an ex-wife that didn't remember that much about me. He's done stocked them and cut me a deal on it. And he makes the best Crispitos around. I ain't never had a foreign boyfriend, but he might be it. So, pretty one better step her up. My boy at the Chevron, that's hard to beat.
911, what's your emergency? Yes, my name's Katrina Ropes, and y'all have a warrant for my arrest. We do? Yes, ma'am. Come get me. It is cold as out here.
In 1964, the Yankees won the pennant, their fifth straight. But Phil Rizzuto was at the mic alongside Harry Carey, who represented the Cardinals for the World Series. Something was up. What was going on? There were rumors swirling. It was never really sorted out. But Mel Allen, at the age of 51, at the peak of his game, Mel Allen was fired by the New York Yankees.
Yeah, and you're right. There's never really been a clear-cut reason why that happened. But the Yankees were about to start a decline. When the Mets came along in 1962, their attendance started to go down. The Yankees did. The Mets actually outdrew the Yankees. And when that happens, viewership goes down for the Yankees. And when that happens, sales of Ballantine beer go down. So all these things are connected. Yep. Now, obviously, the king of the Ballantine blast. Lots of reasons, lots of rumors. We really don't know exactly why.
Naga hits the first pitch for a strike. Goldschmidt, it's 0-1. They're showing a replay. I didn't see it on the Cubs cast, but on the Yankees cast. PCA threw a temper tantrum after that strikeout. The pitch down and in. 1-1. Slammed his batting helmet and it shattered. Surprised he didn't get tossed, to be honest with you. 1-1. Down below the knees. 2-1. Home plate umpire Hanahan must not have thought that it was directed at him. But once again, you got two strikes. It's up to you to swing the bat. Don't complain when you don't get a borderline call. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Those names that I put up there. So Tyrone Taylor and Starlin Marte. Those are the other two names that folks are rumoring out there on the trade market, right-handed bats. They would be interesting. Once again, you're really talking about platoon situation because on every day in the postseason, assuming health, you got Acuna in right, Harris in center. So in left field, you're looking at the Yaz versus right-handed pitcher, and you're really just looking at someone who can hit left-handed pitching. The 2-2. Swing, rips it. Over to short. And it's a 6-3 put out, one away. Goldschmidt, during that at bat, let's see if something comes of this. Because if I saw it, somebody else had to see it. You are supposed to pay attention to the pitcher when you're batting. Your eyes are not supposed to be darting off like you're getting clues on where the catcher is sitting and whatnot. Goldschmidt's eyes kept darting over towards the first base side, but he also could be trying to catch his peripherals. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch swinging. Ben Rice smokes it over towards first. Diving grab out there. Good play by Michael Bush. 2 down. L3, put an asterisk on that one. That ball was smoked. Gold Glove caliber type play on that one. And look, the Cubs are noticing it. The Cubs announcers just noticed it. They're now replaying it. The 1-0. Rosario. Swing, belted, high and deep, going back on the track. That baby is gone. A solo shot, and finally this wind is taken over. We were wondering how long it would take for the wind to start carrying here in Wrigley Field. It has been jetting out all afternoon, and finally we're seeing a run on the board. .450 feet. That ball was drilled to center field. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way, high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Yankees 1, Cubs nothing. The 1-0. Upstairs misses high, 2-0. .2-0 from Managa, brings it. Swing and a miss over the splitter. 2-1. .2-1 from Managa, bringing it. Fouls it straight back. 2 down here in the top of the fourth. A 2-2 count. Yankees lead it 1-0. The 2-2. Full count. Dominguez at the plate. Trent Grisham is standing on deck. The payoff pitch. Swing lifted. High and deep into left field. Going back on the track at the Ivy. Making the catch out there is happened. That'll end the inning. But not before the New York Yankees put one on the board. It's 1-0 New York. Ramirez leads us off when we return. Heart of the order for the Cubbies.
I ain't gonna lie, when white people say news flash, buddy, they finna check your ass, or if they hit your ass with a get a load of this guy.
When people say I hate men, I get really defensive because that's simply not true. But when they call me a man-hater, I'm like, thank you for that very accurate and astute observation. Because I only hate like 70 you so far.
Move over, Shakespeare and Neil Armstrong, because Jose Ramirez now has the greatest quote in world history. So Jose extended his contract with the Guardians for pennies on the dollar, and now all signs point to him being in Cleveland forever. Source, he literally changed his Instagram profile picture to Cleveland forever. But this quote, he said, I call myself a 50-50. 50% Dominican, 50% Cleveland. There was a certain someone who grew up right down the road and made it very clear that Akron and Cleveland are not the same. And then he proved it when he left. Not once, not 2 times. Well, yeah, 2 times. I was going for the Miami reference there. For Jose to say that he's 50% Clevelander, what did we do to deserve this man? But this man deserves a ring.
Only 2 years after that, the Yankees have plummeted all the way to the basement. They finished 10th in a 10-team league. There's a Wednesday afternoon game. I think it was a Wednesday. It was a midweek afternoon game in any case at Yankee Stadium. A makeup game. It's raining. It's cold. It's late September. Barely 400 people are in the cavernous ballpark at Yankee Stadium. Red Barber is on TV. And going back to his old guiding light, you're here to report, he wants to make it clear that Yankee fortunes have bottomed out, and this may be emblematic of it. Only a few hundred people in the ballpark. But the director will not take the shot. And it's not coincidental that at the age of 58, Red Barber was done after that 66 season with the Yankees and never broadcast another baseball game again.
Thank you for hyping and subscribing to BCR, your home for radio baseball. First pitch misses off the plate, 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0 pitch high and inside to Pedro Ramirez, 2-0. Yeah, I just wouldn't expect much if you brought McCutchen back. But if you're, he's a veteran right-handed bat. That's probably why the Braves took a chance on him, is the 2-0 pitch is lifted high. Fairly deep into right, but that'll be an easy F9, excuse me. One away. You're going to do what Lou Gehrig did. If you're a Yankee player today, you got a lot to live up to. 96 years ago today in Fenway, Lou Gehrig, in a 14-13 win against the Red Sox, as the first pitch is swung on and dribbled over to second, 4-3 on the putout. Quickly 2 down. Lou Gehrig hit a grand slam and collected 8 RBIs 96 years ago today with 2 doubles. Pitch on the way right there for a strike. It's 0-1. It wasn't any kind of money spent on him, though. They picked him off the waiver wire. The trash heap, as I like to call it. The 0-1 pitch. Outside wide. Bregman doesn't like it. Shakes his head. Is he going to challenge it? No, he's just going to run his lips. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. And it was off the plate, but yeah, it doesn't do you any good if you're just going to sit there. Pitch in the dirt, 1-2. When you're talking about picking up a guy off the trash heap like that, the team you're grabbing it from is paying the freight. You just have to pay whatever minimum stint he spends with you. The 1-2, swing lifted, out to center field, over making the catch is Grisham. In a very quick inning. The Cubs are just giving these at-bats away. We'll be back in a flash. We go to the 5th. New York leading 1-0.
People will never be able to say, wow, she's really let herself go if you never had your together to begin with.
I saw a post on Facebook that says, would you ignore somebody's birthday if they didn't tell you happy birthday? Absolutely! It don't take nothing but 2 seconds to tell somebody happy birthday. And my birthday only comes once a year. Because if you didn't tell me happy birthday, screw you and your birthday. Who think I'm gonna go out my way for you and you ain't going out your way for me? Absolutely not. You can miss me with that, please.
You know what I love? I love when I'm driving and I'm behind somebody that's in the right lane, like trying to make a turn. And instead of making the turn, like when it's safe to do so, like a normal person, they waiting on the light to turn green. I love that, man.
2 of the greatest baseball announcers of all time. First 2 winners of the Ford C. Frick Award. The first 2 baseball broadcasters enshrined in the Hall of Fame, dismissed by the Yankees in the space of 2 years. 1969, Mickey Mantle has retired. They give him a day at Yankee Stadium. The ballpark is packed. I'm going to bring Mel Allen out to introduce Mickey Mantle and listen to the reception.
It is my pleasure to introduce the longtime voice of the Yankees, Mr. Mel Allen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hello there, everybody. My great thanks to the Yanks. This is one of the proudest moments I've ever had on this hallowed baseball ground. And I'm terribly privileged to have the honor to once again call from the dugout one of the all-time Yankee greats, the magnificent Yankee, the great number 7, Mickey Mantle.
Welcome back. First pitch swinging by the Yankees. They'll return the favor. It's going to be a 5-3 putout, a light ground ball by Grisham over to Ramirez, who flips it over to Bush as we start the inning. New York 1, Chicago nothing. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for New York, No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Cubbies. The pitch misses outside wide. 1-0. 1-0 count. Turns and kicks. Inside. 2-0. It's the weirdest thing, and I don't think it was the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up high and deep into right field. Underneath it, making the catch out there in right, is Conforto. They go to break on the Yankees channel, and I don't know, there's like a card that pops up, some kind of stupid ad they're trying to sell. You got a lefty-lefty matchup here. Jones the batter. First pitch on the outer edge. Kisses the black for a strike. It's 0-1. But anyways, it freezes it up. And I look over because it's our secondary monitor today, and you have to go fast forward through whatever, some ad that just freezes it up. The pitch on the way, swings, smokes it deep into right center field, and that baby is gone. A solo shot, and the Yankees have doubled their lead. 2-0 your score. That ball was absolutely drilled 418 feet. So 868 feet for 2 runs today. Niminaga and the Cubs trail 2-0. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch to Sanchez is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. 2 down, top of the 5th. Ali Sanchez swings, lifts it. High and deep into right field. Looks like this one will hold. The wind's pushing it out, but it'll be caught by Conforto at the track. We'll be back in a flash. Yankees 2, Cubs nothing. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Hell are you doing? I told you we weren't getting involved.
You got us involved when you brought us here.
Where are you from? What's your real name? What was it before you changed it?
Giuseppe.
That's all you need, one thieving wop on the team.
It's much better than you stinking Irish.
Oh, I like him.
Just a drink. He can play. He can't throw. He can't throw and he can't field. Why do you like him? He gets on base.
You want answers? I want the truth!
He gets on base, so do I care if it's a walk or a hit? You do not. I do not. Just a drink.
What draws my admiration? What is that which gives me joy?
Just a drink.
Baseball. A man stands alone at a plate. This is the time for individual achievement. But in the field, part of a team. Part of one big team. Sunny day, stands are full of fans. What does he have to say?
Just a drink.
I get nowhere unless the team wins.
The day may come when the courage of men fail, but it is not this day.
Just a drink. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Forget it, he's rolling. I think he'll ever get out of here.
One day, when I got a long white beard and 2 or 3 marbles rolling around upstairs.
Get busy living. Get does he die?
Just a drink.
Do you really want to get him? What are you prepared to do? If you open the ball on these people, you must be prepared to go all the way. Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Just a drink.
The Lord hates a coward. Do you know what a blood oath is? Yes. Good. Because you just took.
Just a drink.
Go ahead. Make my day.
You can't handle the truth.
Did it ever occur to you I just might go tapioca and throw you out of one of the windows?
Just a drink.
Perfect.
Shaken, not stirred.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back. 2-0 your score. And the Cubs grab the sticks as we go to the bottom of the fifth. First pitch on the way. Yankees lead it 2-0. Will Warren just 51 pitches, so he's cruising through this Cubs lineup. First pitch misses, it's 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Happ. Number 5 hitter in the order will be Happ, Warner, and Conforto. 1-1. There's also on this date in 1897, John Grimes, who appeared in only 3 games during his just 1 year of playing for the St. Louis Brown Stockings, he established the major league mark. So he got his name in the record book, if nothing else. Pitch down and into 1. By hitting 6 batters in one 9-inning game. The record after that was 4 hit by many pitchers, but the all-time record is still 6. John Grimes, his claim to fame is he hit 6 batters in one game in 1897. You usually look at the modern records at 1901 plus because that's when the AL came in and that's when a lot of the rules got established with both leagues. The 2-2 from Warren. Swing, ripped it out towards right center field, and making the running catch out there's Trent Grisham for out number 1. Yeah, I think Chop Shop right now, I think I'm in 23 different drafts going live right now, but they're all these the 8-hour clocks. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch swinging. Dribbles it on the ground over to third. Going to be an easy 5-3 in the Cubs. And they're just giving it bats away today. 2 down. Welcome in, Tom. 2-0 your score. 2 solo shots. To hear the Cubs do with their little flash of a card, and I bet you it's going to get stuck too. I don't understand. Oh no, the Cubs one actually went away. But I don't understand when you put a card up there on your screen. Why is that jamming up MLB? It should just go away, fade off like it normally does. The 0-1 down and in 1. So I've got other devices that run on a totally different set. It's not on the MLB app. It's on something different. It's a box. And they don't jam up. But when I have it on the MLB app, like the one in New York a second ago, that thing just froze over there, and you don't know it's not going because the goofy show card doesn't have any movement to it to begin with. 1-2 count to Conforto. Cubs with just 2 hits here in the bottom of the 5th. Still got a ways to go, but man, you'd like to start getting some runners on the board if you're Chicago. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Will Warren taking the Cubbies to school on a Friday in July. Didn't think it came back until sometime in August. We'll be back in a flash.
My grandpa once said, do what you hate first thing in the morning to get it out of the way. And I'm just now remembering he called me at like 5:30 a.m. a couple months ago on my birthday to wish me happy birthday.
There's
there's nothing worse than when I'm about to get Domino's and somebody's like, oh, there's so much better pizza around you. Domino's sucks. I don't want pizza. I want Domino's. It's a completely different experience. I don't know why people can't wrap their heads around that. I don't want to watch a movie and eat 2 slices of pizza. I want an entire pie to my face.
Y'all know how motherfuckers like, I gotta be on my P's and Q's. What the does that even mean?
Mel Allen was back to the Yankees on a regular basis in the 1970s. It all goes back to a conversation in the mid-50s when a young football coach at Northwestern called Mel Allen for advice on how to break into the sportscasting business. Mel spent an hour on the telephone with that young coach, and that young coach was George Steinbrenner, who never forgot the courtesy that Mel Allen gave him. Steinbrenner buys the Yankees in 1973, and later on brings Mel back, first doing pre- and post-game shows, and then back play-by-play for the New York Yankees. And in 1983, the voice of the Yankees had another iconic moment.
And the crowd standing. 40,000 plus people standing and roaring. And Righetti trying to get Bob. And he gets it! A no-hitter! A no-hitter! A no-hitter for Dave Righetti! How about that? He got the no-hitter! Look at the Yankees batting and grabbing. Dave Righetti pitches the first no-hitter by a Yankee pitcher since Don Larson in 1956 in the World Series. A perfect game. How about that?
Welcome back, y'all. Hope you're enjoying your Friday afternoon here on the BCR. 2-0 your score. The Yankees lead the Cubs. We'll go to the top of the 6th inning. And the first pitch is right there for a strike, followed by a ball splitter in the dirt. It's 1-1. 1-1. Brings it, swing, laces it out to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And the Yankees got one on and nobody out. Yeah, I like the best balls. Chop. I do them in July going into August, and then by mid-August I'm in all the redrafts and dynasty leagues, so I put it to an end. But I like the best balls mainly because they have the 8-hour clocks. It's the first pitch high and out of the zone. Paul Goldschmidt's 1-0. I do most of mine on Underdog, and I just like having that 8-hour window because you can make your picks whenever you want. And when I do as many games as I do nowadays, along with everything else that I have to do in my work life, it's nice to just be able to, I'll knock out 12 or 13 picks in about 5 minutes because they'll collect up. I mean, this morning I woke up and there was like a dozen, and one of them only had like 25 minutes left. I was like, how the hell is that possible? I could have sworn I didn't have any when I went to bed, and I wasn't in bed. I wasn't asleep that long. 1-0 outside wide. I like to get out of it before they start, because eventually they start dropping it down to the 4-hour, and then it goes down to like 1. And I'm just, by then I want to be totally done with it. But that's usually about 2 weeks before the season starts. The 2-0 count. High and out of the zone. Imanaga missing the mark, and it is ball 3-0. Goldschmidt, the leadoff hitter for the Yankees. Ben Rice standing on deck. .30 right there for a strike. Three and one. The 3-1 swing and a miss Full count. Yeah, don't forget that he went out to the West Coast too, Nick. Maddox went all over the damn place at the end. Payoff pitch from Imanaga, swung on, popped up, foul and out of play. He wasn't on any contenders in the end, so you always forget how much longer his career was extended when he went out west. And then eventually, I think he's ended up finishing in Chicago at the very end. But the 3-2, swing, roasted up the middle. It's going to be a ground ball, 4-3 double play. As Horner steps on second base and flips it to first, and the runners are erased, 2 away. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Ben Rice, the batter, with nobody on and 2 outs. 0-1. I think the team that everybody forgets that he ended up at was the Padres. 0-1 out and away, 1. They actually sent him to the Dodgers at the very end. That's where he finished his career, but he left Atlanta to go back to the Cubs, and then that's when he went to the Dodgers in San Diego. When he went to the Cubs, when he left the Cubs, I just kind of forgot about him. The games were never on as the 1-2 down and away, 2-2. And the Dodgers and Padres were not contending at that point. You want to feel old? Greg Maddux is 60. The 2-2. Swing rips it down the right field line just fair over the glove of the first baseman. And it's going to be a 2-out single for the New York Yankees. Yesterday was the last Thursday that you'll have on the calendar without a football game. It's the last week going in with no football games on your docket until February. Rosario, the batter, lefty-righty matchup. First pitch foul back. It's 0-1. And they've got a dud of a Hall of Fame game this year. Carolina and Arizona. Oof. Not that preseason games are very interesting at all, but it's not really a marquee matchup. The 0-1, swing and a miss over the top. 0-2. I'm sure people will still watch it. I'll put those games on in the background while I'm calling the games, just to kind of get that feel that football's back. The air's going to start getting crisp before too long. That pitch was way high out of the zone, 1 and 2. Imanaga is at 88 pitches. They might send him back out there for the 7th, but he needs to get out of this quick if that's going to happen. The 1-2. Another one. That's back-to-back. Looked like a replay. 2-2. 2 four-seamers hit almost the exact same spot they're showing on the pitch track in front of me. One on top of each other, and they're both high out of the zone. The 2-2. Swing, chops it foul, went with the splitter that time. They do the one game on Thursday, and then they don't do any other games next weekend, and then the following week is when they start ramping them up. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next thing you know, college football will be here. The 2-2 count. 1 on, 2 outs, top of the 6th. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and he got out of the jam. Imanaga sitting around 90 pitches. He may come back out for inning 7, but it's doubtful. We'll be back in a flash. Chicago trails 2-0.
Man, I swear y'all are forever on this whack-ass comparison that can't even happen. I'm gonna go on and say it. I've been holding this in. I ain't even said this on the channel. Y'all suck at basketball. Y'all can't play no basketball. Y'all can't even dribble right. You know, you say you more skilled, but one of the things that's skilled in basketball is being able to take 2 steps and go up. Y'all can't even do that no more. They relax the rules so much, I don't even think y'all can take 2 steps and lay it up. That's one of the foundations of basketball, and you don't even do it. Cannot touch one of you. So you're unimpeded to the goal the whole time. Like, if you were playing, like, which refs are you bringing to this matchup that could never happen in your head to make excuses for LeBron? Which refs? Are you bringing 90s refs or are you bringing the new refs? Because if we bring in the 90s refs, your ass ain't even going to be able to take a shot because they're going to whistle your ass every time you touch the ball. Get the out of here.
Both Mel and Red had significant chapters of their broadcasting careers after they were essentially done in the booth as play-by-play men. In the case of Red, it was those visits on Friday with Bob Edwards on NPR's Morning Edition, which introduced Red Barber to a whole new audience and charmed that audience.
Yeah, a whole new generation of fans who maybe never heard Red Barber or Mel Allen call baseball games. But Red, as you mentioned, had a good 11 or 12-year run with those weekly commentaries. And for Mel, it began because baseball really wanted a response to what the NFL had. NFL Films came out with This Week in Pro Football highlight show, and baseball needed one, and in 1977 they began to put one together, and they reached out to Mel Allen. A lot of people weren't familiar with Mel Allen in terms of the younger generation. And how did he open the first show? Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen.
It was a bigger deal than you might imagine today. Back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, This Week in Baseball was it. This Week in Baseball gave you all the important highlights, but always with a twinkle in the eye and with a light touch.
Welcome in, your home for the classic call, Radio Baseball. Welcome back. Dansby Swanson's going to lead us off. 2-0 New York over the Cubbies. Warren's been dealing. The 1-0 pitch swung on, popped up. And that's going to be an F4 in your scorecard. 1 quick out. Iron Lung, the constant closet football fan. He's been to a San Diego State football game. That don't make you a football fan. Nothing does. Pitch on to Amaya to start off the at-bat. Is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Drops a teardrop at the knees. 1-1. What's funny is, a second ago, I looked over one of the monitors, and because it's just the one baseball game on here in our studio, a bunch of televisions on nothing because you only got the one game. We're keeping an eye on the entire league. The 1-1's fouled away, 1-2. And so they had college football live on a little while ago, and during one of the breaks, I saw that they were breaking down what would be considered a big game. Texas versus Ohio State is the 1-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Normally that would be something. I'm telling you, 5-6 years ago, I would be excited to watch that game. Oh, that's a great matchup. Now I'm like, well, does it really matter? Because anybody who's worth the hoot, they're throwing in the playoffs. So realistically, it's just a warm-up game. It's a bit of a, I hate to say it, but it's really a scrimmage. First pitch high and out of the zone to PCA. Misses out high and wide. It's 1-0. Just like there used to be an allure to like an Alabama-Georgia matchup. Now it's just like, well, you're both probably getting in, so we'll see you in December. The 1-0 pitch. Swing, rips it down the right field line, giving chase, making the catch in the corner is the right fielder Dominguez, and that'll end the inning. Got some decent swings here, but Warren's got a 2-hit shutout going. Here in Wrigley, we go to the top of the 7th.
I'll never forget. I remember I tried doing meal prepping one time. I tried it one time. It took me 6.5 hours. Yeah, it was about 6.5, 7 hours that it took me. Now, y'all, I kid y'all not. I ate all 5 of them meals in one sitting. And after that, I knew not to go playing with that. I said, damn, that's when I really started paying attention to service sizes. And I knew I never wanted to serve.
Guess which planet is back in the news? Apparently, the giant, oversized gas blob isn't as giant and oversized as we thought it was. Either the space people miscalculated or Jupiter went on a diet. Maybe Jupiter saw my videos. Fat shaming works. New measurements say it's smaller than we thought. Jupiter has had its length and breadth measured again, and it turns out the giant planet is skinnier and shorter than scientists had thought. Jupiter was lying on its Tinder profile. That equatorial bulge is basically a beer belly. So I guess Jupiter just looks bigger from a distance. I don't know. It's still a cannibal planet. Jupiter eats other planets, but I guess it eats healthy planets. It only eats vegan planets. That's why it's so gassy.
Dedicated baseball fan, his voice was known to millions throughout his career. He is the first, along with Red Barber, to receive this coveted Hall of Fame honor. Mel.
I learned a lot from him, and proud to be his friend, and then even prouder when the opportunity came for Red to join our staff at Yankee Stadium. He had a lot of class and stature to it.
I don't know of any announcer, well, I can name 2 or 3, who did as distinguished a job for a ball club as he did for the Yankees.
Imanaga goes back to work as the Cubs trail the Yankees 2-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Dominguez takes the ball high. 1-2. I guess no one relayed the message to the Cubs dugout that that Paul Goldschmidt was looking in, because no one has thrown at him. The 1-2 pop up. It's going to be a can of corn, infield grass. Michael Busch making the catch. And there's one away. Trent Grisham, who's 0 for 2 on the day and an 0-1 count. Fly out and a ground out. And then Aga drops the sweeper in there. 0-2. On deck is Volpe and Jones follow, so I guess I'm so used to the Braves treating pitchers with bubble wrap. I didn't expect Imanaga to come out here, but he's back out. There's a little bit of rain dropping here at Wrigley. The 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2. One-two count. Pitch down. Sweeper, 2-2. The 2-2. Out and away. Another sweeper missing. Yeah, we're talking about Qualcomm Stadium. I didn't realize that thing opened up in 1967. The 3-2 pitch, swing, pop up. Deep into left field, but not deep enough. Underneath it, making the catch is Ian Happ. 2 down. They named it Qualcomm in 97, so... I'm trying to think of when I was there. And it looks like Counts is coming out to get Imanaga as Volpe, the right-hander, is coming in. So we'll be back in a flash top of the 7th, a 2-0 game. Cubs trying to rally here in Wrigley on a Friday. Two nothing your score. I didn't see that. Chop Minter got traded to the Twins. Damn, I was hoping he was going to end up with Atlanta, but at least he went to a loser in the American League. We won't run into him. Pitch down and away. Tyler Ferguson. 1-1. We got the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. I got the MLB running in the background, MLB Network version, but it's on a delay, and that's where the bottom line I would see that at, but it's so far away you can't make it out. Last night, 1-2, misses high, 2-2. Have to look that up and see what they got for him. Hopefully whoever it is ends up being a bust. He'll be a free agent. It'll be interesting to see the Braves go back after him. The 2-2 pitch, swing, lifted, high into right field, underneath it, making the catch. Out there is Conforto, and that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th, trying to get up and stretch in Wrigley. 2-0, Yankees lead the Cubs on a Friday afternoon baseball edition. Man, that's a crock. It doesn't look like they sang the 7th inning stretch in Chicago today. First pitch misses outside to Ramirez for a ball. It's 1-0. They did the speed version. So they came back on that break very tight. The 2-0. Down and in. He called it a strike, and Ramirez is going to challenge. I think he's going to win this one. Be shocked if this is not a ball. Looked about an inch or so. Yeah, it is a ball. Maybe it had to do with the rain. The rain's lightly falling. Maybe they're trying to worry about getting the game in, and they didn't. Well, I don't know. But it's very odd, especially for the Friday day game. Pitch upstairs for a strike, and maybe their guest singer bailed. (3-1) count. Warren still in the game, only at 72 pitches. And the pitch is swung on and fouled back out of play. So a full count to Ramirez. Heart of the order due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Bush is on deck. Bregman in the hole. The payoff pitch. Swing. Chopper on the ground over to third. Rosario's got it. Flips it to Goldie, and it's 5-3, and there's one away. Game 2 of the doubleheader tonight. Braves versus Nationals. It'll be Foster Griffin versus Bryce Elder. Should be a pretty good pitching matchup. First pitch. Bender on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Michael Bush 0 for 2 with a double play and then a ground out. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-2. Blackburn is warming up in the pen. And that's interesting. Blackburn is their setup guy. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. 1-2. That tells you the Yankees are going to be looking for some relief pitching at the deadline. One-two count. High and out of the zone. That'll even it up at 2-2. The 2-2. Bender. Trying to get him to chase that change, and it's a full count. Payoff pitch, swing, hammered down the first base line, a one-hopper. Goldschmidt with that gold glove of his, grabs it, jumps to his feet, taps the bag, and there's 2 down. Still got a little bit left in that glove of his, man. Goldschmidt, that was a nice play. We'll come on the air tonight at 7 o'clock. Get you ready for Braves versus Nationals. That Foster Griffin pitched a really good game against Atlanta earlier in the year. Hopefully seeing him a second time will help the Braves out. First pitch is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. He's not a power pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. He's a guy that tries to induce ground balls. And if you put pressure on the Washington defense, it usually comes up well. But that day, I remember that game because I was like, who is this guy? You know, I'd seen his stats, and he was doing pretty well, but it was early in the season. And he just shut us down. And then I saw the interview with them afterwards on the Nationals broadcast as the 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. Over the top on the sinker under his hands. And it was actually a pretty impressive interview. So by no means am I pulling for the Nationals. But I do like this guy, Foster Griffin, as the pitch is swung on and tapped out there to center field just over the infield defense. A soft single. And that might get the Cubs going. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, but the tying run is now coming to the plate. And that's in the form of Ian Happ, and you wonder if that could be it for Warren. No, it looks like they're going to let him throw. He's at 84 pitches. First one is right there. He's had good movement on his pitches today. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Outside wide, 1-1. Two nothing your score. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Chicago. Blackburn is warmed up in the pen. The 1-1 pitch dropped below the knees. 2-1. You would think of Nico Horner on deck, this is the last batter for Warren from hell or high water. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, rips it through the infield, and that's going to get out to right, and they're going to go station to station with 2 outs. No sense of getting thrown out at third, but the Cubbies got something brewing here. And it looks like that's going to be it. We'll take a quick break. They go to the pen. We'll be back in a flash. Cubbies and Yankees, and the go-ahead run is coming to home plate. Paul Blackburn coming on with a 2.15 ERA, former starter. First pitch swinging here is down and in, chop foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Yankees lead it 2-0, but the Cubs have runners on first and second. There are 2 outs. July 31st. Used to be the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good grab there by Sanchez behind the plate off the bounce. Runners scamper back. 1-1. So a ton of trades. This is the anniversary of a ton of trades. They changed that. Last collective bargaining agreement, they agreed to being able to expand it. The window is the 1-1 pitch, swing hit up the middle. It's going to be grabbed by the shortstop, and they're going to say he's safe. It was a 6-4 flip. His foot initially did not touch the bag, but the shortstop Volpe believes that he did, and so does Brett Boone. He wants to challenge this one. He may not have seen the second tap. The umpire was moving on the... Ooh, it is really close. It's much closer than I thought. First I thought it was a no-brainer that he touched the bag, but I think he probably got it. Yeah, he touched the bag. That should end the inning. We'll wait for the official confirmation. It looks like, yep, he's out. We'll go to the 8th, 2-0 New York. Yankees grab the sticks when we return.
106 miles from Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's happy hour.
When wins become losses and losses become wins.
You guys going to happy hour? I'll come for a couple. Just a couple, though. Not like last time.
I need a drink.
When buying a beer, buying only one beer can cause a misalignment in your spine due to the uneven weight distribution. This can cause unnecessary back pain and potential spine issues. To prevent this, carry 2 beers, ensuring your body is balanced and proper health maintained.
Afternoon, everybody.
Put my pants on, one leg at a time.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription...
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
You're in Braves country.
Everybody drink a beer. Salad.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to.
This stinks!
Pretty soon we're going to be calling this country.
This is total BS!
Oh, yeah? For me and the Lord, you gotta understand it. We're on a mission for God.
I'm on the radio every day!
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to kill me!
And you, music lover, you're next.
You're so drunk you can't hit nothing. In fact, you're probably seeing double.
I have 2 guns, one for each of you.
Welcome back. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Yankees 2, Cubs nothing. First pitch, swing and a miss. Ferguson is on the hill for the Cubbies now. Jones at the plate, so the 7, 8, 9 batters. Jones, Sanchez is the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Spencer Jones, Sanchez, and Caballero due up if anybody gets on. Back to the top of the order with Goldschmidt and Ben Rice. The 0-2 misses outside, 1-2. They've got the starting lineup out for Atlanta today. With the left-hander on the hill, they put Acuna back at the top of the order. Drake is designated hitting, batting second. Very close to what you saw yesterday, but Riley is back. The pitch misses the mark, and it's 2-2. Should be noted, Jim Jarvis is starting at shortstop with the lefty on the mound. 2-2 misses high. 3-2. It's Acuna, Baldwin, and Olsen, Ozzie, and Harris. That's pretty much what they've been doing recently. Dubon batting in front of Riley. And then Joey Bart is batting 8th, and Jim Jarvis is batting 9th. Pitch outside wide, and it is ball 4. One on, nobody out. And Austin Wells is going to come on and hit for Sanchez. He'll most likely stay in for defense. Hotovy, the pitching coach, is coming out there to talk. Two to nothing your score. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Chicago Cubs. Game 1 of the double dip. 7:15 tonight. We'll come on there at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Braves and Nationals. Tell you what the Braves need more than anything tonight. They're probably not going to get it with Foster Griffin on the mound. It's the first pitch off the plate wide. I was thinking about this last night after the game. They need a ball game where they bludgeon the other team and don't have to go to the back end of the bullpen. They've got way too many games that are being decided by just a run or so. And so you're constantly wearing out the back end of that bullpen. The 1-0, down and in, 2-0. It also fixes it if you just get blown out in your own right, but I'm not pulling for that one. But it's amazing to me that they have had this many close ball games and somehow we continue to win most of them since the All-Star break. Is the first pitch outside wide. They don't get an assigned day off until Monday. They did have the one non-built-in day off versus the Mets on Tuesday, but then they had to turn around and play a doubleheader, so it really didn't help the bullpen. There's a pitch right there on the outer track. That'll make it 3-1. (3-1) count, 2-0 your score. Runner at first, nobody out. The infield playing back into the right, double play depth. The 3-1 pitch, runner goes outside wide, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. First and second. Nobody out. There is a left-hander warming up in the pen. Kelly for the Cubs. Ferguson on the hill right now. He's got to face a third batter before they can go to him. First and second, nobody out. And Goldschmidt is on deck. They're probably going to wait to bring Kelly in. The following batter, which is Ben Rice, and then McMahon, who pinch hit earlier, came in. Or actually, a pinch hit, he came in for defensive purposes. He bats after Rice. So 2 lefties due up. Unless they get a double play here, and then they'd pull that in the 9th inning. 0-1 count after a showed bunt. Ferguson looking back to runners. Inside, swing and a miss. Upstairs, four-seamer. It's 0-2. Infield is drawn in. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Caballero pulls back that bat and slaps it, he might have killed Michael Bush. He was like 5 feet from the plate. With 2 strikes now, they go back to 0-2. This time they do drop the bunt. The throw goes down to third. Good handle there by Bush. He flips it over to third base, making the tag over there at third, stepping on the bag. Is Ramirez. There's one away, first and second. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but in 2015, I think it was 2015. Yeah. In 2015, when the Mets went to trade Wilmer Flores, just is the first pitch right there for a strike. Right-handed bat of Goldschmidt's on 1. And Flores cried on the field, and then come to find out the trade didn't go through, and he ended up being a Met. He eventually makes it out to San Fran. But he thought he had gone to the Brewers in a trade. So he cried famously on the field. I did not know this. The following year, on this date in 2016, the Brooklyn Cyclones honor Wilmer Flores, who is still currently a Met at that time, with a bobblehead, and the bobblehead has 2 heads on it. It's kind of creepy looking, but the front side is the Brewers and the back side is a Mets jersey, but it's got his head, the front of his face on both of them. It's really strange looking. 1-2 count, but it makes me want it now. 1-2. Inside, 2-2. Bet there's 0 in circulation with it being that long ago, such a random player. Two 2-0 your score. Yankees lead the Cubs. Swing and a miss. Goldschmidt down on strikes. And there's 2 down. It looks like they are going to go to Kelly to face Ben Rice, the left-handed power hitter, coming to the plate, trying to keep the Cubs in it. Counsell will make the move. We'll be back in a flash. It's 2-0 New York here in Chi-Town. We are back in the left-hander. Kelly coming on, southpaw to face Ben Rice, lefty-lefty matchup. Antoine Kelly misses with the first pitch, 1-0, 4.02 ERA, and a 23% strikeout rate, 13% walk rate. 40 innings so far for the Cubs this year, the 1-0. He at the knees, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Turns and kicks. Swing, chopper off the plate. Chop, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Baker Mayfield is salty about not getting a contract extension. I saw an interview with him last night. It's pretty funny. It'll probably play well for the Bucs this year, though. He'll go out motivated. But I kind of get what he was saying as far as what he's done for the franchise, and they've been kind of known to pinch pennies. It'll go well for the Bucs this year. It may not go well for them next year. There's an issue with the PitchCom device, but Kelly says he's okay, so ready to roll. Ben Rice 1 for 3 on the day. He's got a 1-2 count. Looking over his shoulder at second. Now turns and kicks. Pitch down and away. And that'll even up the count at 2-2. 2 outs here. Wells at second. Caballero's at first. If the ball gets into the gap, he'll score. He's got pretty good speed, and of course the long grass here at Wrigley on a July afternoon. The 2-2. Swing, chops it off his instep. Will do it again. Chop, I'm assuming that we've already got you in the football draft from last year. The 2-2 swing, fouls it away. So a 2-2 count. Deuces wild here, top of the 8th, 2-on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Okay, that's what I thought. I got to see where we're at and how many we're going to bring on. I know most of y'all didn't want the person who never drafts in it. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 2-0 New York. Getting late early. Cubs got to wake up those bats.
One fight changed Ernest Tubbs' life forever. Ernest and the Troubadours were playing Washington, D.C., but he was hitting the bottle a little heavy. After the show, the band had heard a fight between Ernest and Cal Smith.
Cal Smith had had an altercation with Ernest on the bus before we pulled out. I heard Cal say, "Son, you don't slap me. I ain't gonna go for that." And, so he got in the car with somebody else and went to the airport. And Ernest come up and sat down beside me and on the outside seat where I couldn't get out. He said, "Son, I want to talk to you about your problem." He kind of rubbed me the wrong way that night, and I said, "Ernest, I can handle my problems, but you got one you can't handle." And he said, "Well, when we get back to Nashville, you no longer work for Ernest Tubbs." I said, "Well, I don't have to get back to Nashville. I can get off here." He said, "Stop the bus." The bus kept running along beside me, kept saying, "Get back on, Jack. It's all right. Get back on." I said, "No, I'm through." And I walked to the next town, which there was a little all-night diner there. And asked the lady, I said, "Is there a bus goes by here?" She said, "Yeah, it comes by at 6 o'clock in the morning." The bus finally pulled up, and I got up there and asked the guy how much it was Nashville, and he said $25. And I said, "I've only got 15. And about that time, somebody slapped me in the back of the head and said, "I'll loan you $10. It was Cal.
Red Barber. He did the first Major League Baseball game. There had been a college game or two, but the first Major League Baseball game on television, 1939, between the Dodgers and the Reds. And when he descended from the booth, having called that game, a lot of his fellow broadcasters surrounded him and they wanted to know what it was like. And Red put it this way: well, I'm not number one anymore. Now I'm number two. That camera is number one. And if you recall Red on TV, he was so spare, almost to the point where you wanted him to give you more. His protege, Vin Scully, figured out a way to split the difference. Vin on radio was providing more. But on television, he was still giving you stories and still giving you information. But Red absolutely drew a line in the sand between radio and television.
Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Blackburn is back out on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. First pitch on the way is outside wide. Off that 0-1, it's called a strike. There's no way that was a strike. And he will get the challenge correct. Yeah, it looks like we need about 2 more or 4 more. It just depends on how many we want to play with on that league. Chop the 1-1 upstairs, 1 and 2. That kid that was on for the Cubs on the hill in the top of the 8th inning, evidently they flashed up on the screen a second ago. He's from Chicago, lived about 15 miles away from the stadium. 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. Tying run stands on deck. Look up why they're bringing it up right now. He's got 40 innings this year, the 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? He did strike 3. The ball gets away a bit, but they'll toss it down to first. 2-3 on the put out with the K. That'll bring Dansby Swanson to the plate. First pitch down and away. Taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Okay, that's his debut for this year. That's why. Because when they flashed it up earlier, they didn't have it specified. But he's got 40 innings total in his career. That was his debut as a Cub this year. As the pitch right there on the outer edge. 1-1. Looks like they were throwing up his minor league numbers. They just left that off the screen. But yeah, he's born in Chicago. He's drafted by the Brewers, and they called him up today. So you know that was a big moment for him and his family. They've got to all be out there at the ballpark, I would think. The kid is 6'5", 205 pounds. Out of Chicago, Illinois, 26-year-old. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Change up, 2-2. Antoine Kelly, drafted by the Brewers in the 2nd round out of Wabash Valley Community College in Illinois. So a 2-2 count. Nick, if you'll either email me or if you're on X, you can just DM me your email. I'll send you the invite. 2-2 misses outside wide, 3-2. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped off the plate down the third base line, plenty foul. That's the email that you would go to. Just send me the email and I'll send you the link. We just do it for fun, and we try to get folks who are, are constantly involved in here on the channel, that chat away, so it's more fun if you know the people you're playing against. A couple of the guys from the football show are usually in it. The rest of them are from the radio, or from the baseball side of it. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blackburn. Got him to look like a split. That thing was filthy. He was fading as a starter. I haven't watched a ton of Yankee games this year, but his numbers are pretty impressive, and I think it's always good to see when a guy reinvents himself as a reliever to extend his career. As the first pitch right there on the outer edge to Amaya, called for a strike. It's 0-1. He's always had decent velocity, but he would get smacked around the second, third time through, but you're not going to have that issue in the bullpen. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2 right there on the outer edge. Cubs trail 2-0, bottom of the 8th. I can't believe this hasn't been a higher scoring game with the wind blowing out. And Will Warren had been dicey at best. He pitched a gem today. 6 2/3 and 7 Ks. The 0-2 pitch chops it up to the plate. 1-2. Y'all remember Paul Blackburn, his last main stop in the starting position role was with the Mets. He'd come over from the Athletics and whatnot, and he was a disaster with the Mets. The 1-2. Check swing went around, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the 9th. 2-0 Yankees here on a Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field.
Hi, y'all. It's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is fawn. You've been on a date with that girl 3 times. You don't think you're falling in love with her, do you?
May 15th, 1864, Newmarket, Virginia. John C. Breckinridge faced a decision no commander wants to make. Union forces under Franz Sigel were advancing up the Shenandoah Valley. Breckinridge had been ordered to stop them. His force was too small. He'd scraped together every available unit, every man who could carry a rifle. That included the cadets from Virginia Military Institute, 247 teenagers, some as young as 15. The pressure was desperate. The Shenandoah Valley fed Lee's army. Breckinridge had no reserves, no reinforcements were coming. The battle developed badly. He looked at the VMI cadets in reserve. They'd marched 80 miles in 4 days to reach the battlefield. They were exhausted. They were boys. Breckinridge gave the order. Put the boys in, and may God forgive me for the order.
Ernie Harwell and Vince Scully both broke in under Red Barber. What an influence, what a mentor.
And both would follow Red and Mel into the broadcasting wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Here are excerpts from the speeches of both honorees from the summer of 1978.
The importance of radio and of television, adding on to what the newspaper coverage was, has helped to make baseball greater and greater and greater. It has taken baseball into the home. It has made baseball a family game. I wrote a book for the broadcasters, and I dedicated it. And let me read the dedication. Because as I show you this, what I'm saying in that book is also for this, and for Mel, and for me. This is for Graham McNamee, and for those others who first went into a new land called radio, armed only with carbon microphones. Thank you.
Set your alerts and subscribe to the BCR, the classic call radio baseball. We're going to the top of the 9th inning, and Antoine Kelly, the Chicago, Illinois native, goes back to work. The first pitch. This is out of the zone, lefty-lefty matchup. McMahon, the batter. It's 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Dropped it at the bottom. 1-1. 1-1 count. Turns and kicks. Fouls it away, 1-2. Infield playing back into the right. The 1-2. Swing, rips it. Over to second. Diving stop off the 2-hopper. Man, that was a nice play. Nico Horner with the grab, flips it to Michael Bush. 4-3. One away. 97 miles an hour off the bat. That ball was cooking. First pitch on the way to Dominguez, lefty-righty matchup. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Upstairs. Called for a high strike, 1-1. Pitch high and out of the zone. 2-1. Ball 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Right there for a strike. No, he did not give him the strike. It's going to be ball 4. He heads on down to first. That was strange they didn't challenge that. So a runner at first and 1 out. And lefty-lefty matchup here as Trent Grisham, the batter. Runner at first. 1 out, infield playing back into the right. Double play depth. The 1-0 pitch swing smoked up the middle, but Dansby's got it. Steps on second. He'll flip it to first, and that'll end the inning. Chicago Cubs have one last chance to try to come back and make this either a tie or walk it off. 2-0 your score. Bottom of the 9th we go.
Oh, sorry, I can't make it. I already have plans to sit in front of my muted TV while I open and close my phone for the majority of the evening. So, I'm going to be pretty busy.
Even tonight, y'all, it was a time in my life where I was a straight A student. If I recall, it was around 3rd grade. But during the whole day, I'm just like, man, I ain't got no congratulations. I ain't got no new game from a GameCube. I'm confused. I thought this was every parent's dream. Get to show up to the awards day and there's some awards being given to your child. So I go to my father. I'm like, Father, why have you forsaken me? Why have I not been rewarded for my grade making? He said, this your second go around. I said, hold on, brother. That ain't the point. Ironically, I had forgot. Yeah, y'all, I flunked the 3rd grade once upon a time, but that wasn't the point.
Girl, if he ain't grabbing your fat rolls like it's the last piece of bread in the basket at Texas Roadhouse, then sis, he ain't the one.
I am truly awed and humbled and as happy as I could ever possibly be for however long I might be allowed to remain on this earth to join my great colleague, the old redhead, Red Barber, in receiving this signal honor, the first paid to our profession, which we know will serve as an added an everlasting incentive to those who will be coming along in the future to justify this highest pinnacle of achievement in baseball reporting. And Commissioner Kuhn, may I just say, I know that you got your LLB and practiced law before you eventually became the High Commissioner of Baseball. I too had that privilege of getting an LLB, but somehow I got off course. But little did I realize, though, that when I got my LLB, it stood for something else than it did for you. LLB, long live baseball.
David Bednar, the closer on for the Yankees. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike. Pete Crow Armstrong, the batter. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Drops one off the edge. 1-1. Yankees lead this one. Two to nothing. Bottom of the ninth, no outs. The 1-1 pitch, swing. Golfs it up into left field. That should be a lazy fly ball. It is. F7, one away. Righty, lefty, first pitch in the dirt. Did he go around? He did not. So 1-0 to Ramirez. Standing on deck is Michael Bush. In the hole is Alex Bregman. Fouls it back, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing whistled into right field. That's down for a base hit, and maybe that'll wake the Cubs up. It's a one-out single by Ramirez to start the ninth inning off as the Cubs trail this one 2-0. Michael Bush, the batter, righty-lefty matchup, chops it off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Down and in. 1-1. Nick, I just sent that to you. What you're going to want to do is, if you haven't already created a Yahoo account, go ahead and create one and then download their fantasy app. Is the 1-1 pitch swung on, pop-up. Deep down the left field line, but giving chase underneath it. Making the catch is Jones, and the Cubs are down to their last out. The tying run is at home. But once you get logged into the Fantasy Yahoo app, you click on that link, it'll take you right to the app and you join the league instantly. Let me know if you have any issues. We try to walk you through it in Game 2. You can also join via laptop, desktop, but it's easier to do those leagues on an app on your phone. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch off the edge as the runner's going to take second base. Looks like defensive indifference. I know in theory that run doesn't matter, but same token, you lose the force out at second. Yankees are challenging that call. That was well off the plate. I don't know what he was challenging.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're
The
wrong.
1-0 count, runner at second. Pitch on the way, swing, chops it back to the mound. It's a comebacker, and Bednarz grabs it, underhands it to Goldie, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Fairly quick game, Wrigley Field, especially with the wind blowing out all afternoon. At least the rain stayed away. And the New York Yankees win it 2-0. They'll improve to 14 games over 500. The Cubs will fall to 14 games over 500. They'll be in a virtual tie, but National League, American League doesn't really matter. We'll see you tonight. 7 Eastern. Braves and Nats. Game 2 of that series. Bryce Elder versus Foster Griffin. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him, had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's closing time, y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Have a great one. On your way out, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to tip your favorite bartender. We'll see you. I'm Mac McGee, signing off for Braves Country Radio.